This has come from your social media, and you posted talking about endometriosis, saying at the age of 38, 4 years you'd been trying for a baby, and you were told you had stage 3 endometriosis, and meant that your chances of conceiving were, what, less than 5%?
Yeah.
So that must have been a terrible shock.
Total shock. And I look back, and the reason I put the post up is because it is Endometriosis Awareness Month this week. And what people don't realise, it is a really common problem for a lot of women out there. I think, looking back now, I've had it since I was a very, very young woman. So when my period sort of first started, I remember getting really bad stomach aches and a very heavy menstrual flow. And, you know, at that age, you say to your friends, well, do you get stomach ache? And do you have a heavy period? And everybody says yes. So you think, oh, it's normal. So I normalised it for most of my life.
And we're talking really bad cramping.
Yeah, and, like, so much so that I always said to my mum, can I take a day off school, Mum? And she'd be like, no, you know. So you don't think anything more of it. And we girls, we talk about a lot of things, but we don't really talk about our periods a lot, do we? So when I started then at the age of 34 or whatever, trying to conceive for a baby, nothing was happening. We tried for 4 years. And, you know, I'm thinking, I'm fit, I'd never done drugs, I don't smoke, I don't drink. What's wrong? It's only when I had a laparoscopy, when they go through your belly button, that they found out that I had stage 3 intense scarring of my fallopian tube, which meant that the sperm and the egg could never meet.
So endometriosis, if people don't know, is the lining of the womb starts to grow outside of the womb.
So the cells which are in your womb, they replicate and they grow outside of your womb. So when you have your period, those cells that are inside your womb, they come out with your period, but the ones that are outside, they bleed, but there's nowhere for them to go.
And they can block your tubes and ovaries.
And it's very, very painful. So that's when I was told about endometriosis. Never heard of it before, never needed to think about it. My family, nobody's talked about it. And when I started looking into it, I realised, my goodness, this is actually one of the main reasons why so many women experience infertility.
I think it's one in 10 women, they
One
believe.
in 10, and
in the UK.
In the UK. And for many people, for many women, they think that is the end. You will never have children. And it's the first thing that I thought. But as we know, there's IVF, but there's also adoption. But I do urge mothers who have got daughters and their daughters are saying, I've got really bad period pain, Mum, please take them to the doctor as soon as possible. Just to check, because I think the earlier you can diagnose it, the more help you've got and the more chances are of clearing it up before you want to start having children, if you want to later on.
Yeah. It's interesting because when you were telling me this earlier this morning, I thought, well, some of that is what happened to me, that in my teenage years, my periods were so heavy, and, of course, never discussed it with my mother, was barely speaking to her. And then when I started work, it was totally debilitating. Yeah. And then when I started on telly, you know, when I was in my mid to late 20s, once a month, I just thought, I can't handle this. And everything that you've described, the appalling cramps, very heavy periods. And actually, in the end, I went to a gynaecologist who said I had really bad fibroids, which is the other thing that happens when it's inside your womb, and then they can scrape them all out, although some of them do come back. But, of course, you know, it's very important that anyone who has that bad cramping and heavy flow periods goes to a gynaecologist and sorts out exactly which
and that's what you really
conditions
wanted to get across today, wasn't it? And through your social media and doing it on the show today, is that because, like you said, you say to people, I've got tummy ache, and they go, oh yeah, I get that. But if your daughter is suffering that very bad pains, or you yourself, don't ignore it.
Absolutely. And I think, you know, we don't talk about periods, but also I think as girls, because we have them, you get, you know, pain, you just deal with it. It's just a period pain. You know, put a hot water bottle on it. But also you can become anemic, and I became anemic because my blood flow was so heavy. So there's lots of other things associated with it.
Very good advice there, and thank you for talking about that. If you are concerned and you'd like any more information, go to our website and there'll be details of lots of helplines there for you.